I wrote a post that said the other day, and the women lost their minds. I said, heal the boy in him and the man you want will show up.
Oh.
They thought, and in that post.
Bars. Oh my gosh. Can we pause? Can we pause on that one? Can we pause on that one? You're absolutely right. And I know the way for a person that's immature, how they would hear that.
They heard that. But what they didn't do was read the caption. It says, a divine, feminine, wise woman her presence can heal him. They thought I said, do something. I didn't say do. I said be.
For strong guys to see a place soft to land. Because I'm going to tell you something. You got to help me with this. I say it a lot, but nobody cares really when a guy says ouch. He takes a demerit when he says ouch. When he says, I don't have it, I don't know it, I am not it. And it takes a really special kind of individual, woman, to be able to see the potential in him. And what's your word? Amplify it.
And amplify.
Tell me what that is. Amplify.
An amplify woman is a woman that sees a man. He's already doing what he's supposed to do. He has his vision. Yeah. He's not somebody building from the ground up.
Yes.
And she comes in and be the side mirrors.
Oh, his BSD, his blind side detection.
Because he's looking directly in the rearview mirror.
Oh, that's good.
So she comes in and amplifies, because you got to remember, he's already in the car. So that means he's accomplished it already, right? He's not somebody you trying to, well, what you going to do with your life and all this and that. No, that ain't him. So the amplified woman, she sees a man, and you told me this years ago. You told me this. A particular type of man who already got his stuff together, that's the kind of man that you need. But you come in and sprinkle your April Mason on it, and it explodes.
I said what?
I'm giving it to you in different terms. But you said...
Yeah, tell me what I said, like how I said
it. Back in 2010, I had to be 10 because
I always value people that know like dates and stuff like that.
Because what you said was impactful. I don't remember everything.
Oh.
But it was impactful because we were talking about men, and you said my issue with you is I don't know what you such a businesswoman. I said it in that tone too.
Yeah, I said it in that tone.
Businesswoman. What would you do with a man that don't need you? I said, well, you said that.
That sound like me.
That was you. We were sitting there. We was all sitting there around the table having a business meeting. That's what you said. And I said, well, I couldn't be with a man that I could not.
And you was in a certain situation too then. Okay, I got you. Now I'm starting to come to my mind.
And so after that, here you go being daddy. See, you need a kind of, what you are, you need a kind of man. Now you said not me.
Not
but
the Rick Ross daddy though. Let's throw that out there real, let's be clear. Saints. All right, not the Rick Ross daddy. Okay.
You said, I ain't talking about me, but you need a man like me. And I said, well, what is that? You said a man that's already in his vision. He knows exactly what he's going to do. And you come in and put pretty much your girl on it, and it explodes. And that was a perfect example of the type of man that I like. Yeah. And it's not that the funny thing is, they're normally the men that you think got it together. They might have the wealth, the notoriety. They don't have that other part, right? So they can still be amplified is what they can be. So I carried that from that conversation that we had. I said, that would be my guy. The guy that has his stuff all the way together, seemingly. It's seemingly all together because he knows what he's doing. He's operating in it. Maybe not at the level that he wants, but here the feminine energy comes that creates a safe place.
It's like a cook.
Like a cook?
It's like a cook. Let me tell you what I mean. You can have a house full of groceries and still be hungry.
Absolutely. Boom. There it is.
So he got all the ingredients.
Yeah.
You're great at this because you come in with this alchemy kind of situation and you put stuff together. In the past couple of days since we ain't talked in a minute.
Yeah, we ain't talked in a minute.
But the past couple of days since we've been talking, I haven't said nothing loud, but I've heard everything you've said, and you have dropped some jewels that's just naturally who you are. So when you say amplifier, to me, I feel like you can see and you probably just more seasoned than it now. You can see a situation, know where the potential is, which is why you grab trademarks the way you do.
I do.
You see the potential and you know how to make it work.
Right. And that's even a gifting with men. So I can walk in a room full of men, full of, I call them rich penises, right? Because there's a bunch of testosterone and all that. And I can automatically see the hurt.
Oh, you don't call them rich penises. I got it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
for the
right.
babies. The babies might be listening.
Yeah.
All right.
So I could automatically see the hurt. I could tell by how they respond to me where the healing needs to happen. And the healing needs to happen is not nothing that I can do.
Say more. What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't even know how to articulate it. But I wrote a post that said the other day, and the women lost their minds. I said, heal the boy in him and the man you want will show up.
Oh.
They thought, and in that post.
Bars. Oh my gosh. Can we pause? Can we pause on that one? Can we pause on that one? You're absolutely right. And I know the way for a person that's immature, how they would hear that.
They heard that. But what they didn't do was read the caption. It says, a divine, feminine, wise woman her presence can heal him. They thought I said, do something. I didn't say do. I said be. There's a difference.
I know you got a course on it, but
not yet. I'm gonna have to create a course on being a woman versus doing.
So let me tell you. So I think and understand the do versus be conversation, because the do versus be, like, you cannot do enough stuff to be anything.
Nope.
Being starts with the decision to be.
Yep.
And you be. Yes. You are it. This is my it is, like God said, I am that I am.
Yes.
He didn't say I do what I do. I ain't never said that before in my life. That's actually pretty good.
I like that though. I like
that down.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
But you're right. And so women got offended, and I got the whole, that's toxicity. It's a man's job to heal himself, and I want to heal man. I said, hold on, sis, let me tell y'all something real quick. Nobody knows the extent of their healing until they get into a relationship.
1,000%.
You can do all of the healing work you want. And I always tell them, y'all scream, Miss April, but I'm celibate. Until Marcus come up. He everything you ever wanted in a man. He treats you right. He smell good. He look good. Holla at me then. We can be celibate when nobody's checking for us that we want.
Ooh.
But when somebody's checking for you that you want, holla at me then. So it's the same thing with healing. There's only so far, even me in my profession, that I healed for myself. But I will meet a man that will trigger me but heal me at the same time.
Say more.
Meaning, if you're not used to having a good man in your life, or if you might have seen that growing up, you can do all the healing work that you want to do. But when the good man comes, can you handle that? Because he's going to be a trigger, and you're going to have to know how to decipher intuition and fear, because they feel the same. If he's not doing anything, so what I had to learn to do, and I tell fellas to do this as well. A lot of times, what I've experienced, and a lot of my clients have experienced that have done the work as women to be better women, men will like us. They will like the idea of us, but they know we can see straight through them. And they get fearful of that, because what happens is I can no longer be the man that I've been being with her. Am I ready to make what I call an identity switch? Plug to my new book coming out in December. It's called Identity Switch. Yeah. And I'm talking about the version of you that you are right now is why you have what you have. You got to make a complete identity switch to get something different. And so what happens is when people aren't ready to do that, they will always go back to the low-hanging fruit that they're accustomed to. Because your presence will require something different. That's why I know for me, I'm around a lot of celeb dudes all the time. They don't try me like they try other women. They don't slide in my DMs with the BS.
And
I don't get none of that.
Let me vouch for you real quick, because that part in being around you, because most of us, we know. It's funny. Like, you know where the hurt is. We know where the hang is, the low-hanging fruit is. We know where it is, and we can see. It's the energy that you give.
Yeah.
And so it ain't about what you got on, and not just about what you got on.
Yeah.
It really is about the energy that you give. And we know many times when we shoot our shot, and let's say, for instance, you receive the shot, because maybe you see the potential or whatever. But if we're not willing to do the work, you know what happens in many cases? Either we will bounce, especially if you're a solid woman. We will just leave, we'll ghost you, or will stay around and just hope that eventually you'll change your mind.
And you become, hey, Miss Lady, I was just checking on you.
Yeah. Amen, lady. Amen, lady.
I was
right.
checking on
Exactly. You'll be that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so crazy that you know that. And I know that you got those. So how do you handle them?
I don't. I'm still cordial and sweet and whatnot, but you're not my man. My man that says, you know what? She's worth it for me. If I ain't where I needed to be, that one right there, she's worth me making some adjustments for. Or I'm already that guy and I don't need to make the adjustments because I'm already the type of man that she would want. I don't need to make any drastic changes because I can always tell how the type of women a man is used to accustomed to dealing with. And I was telling you that I was the dating coach and went on some mock dates for a pilot show that I was filming for some of the guys from Love and Hip Hop. And we went on this mock date and, I'm sitting in the car because you got to open the lady's door, to get me out the car, honey. So we at this restaurant. I think we were at the Hilton or somewhere. The cameras are going and whatnot. He wasn't used to being treated kind. So much so, that date, the producers called me back and was like, Miss April, we have a problem. I'm like, what's that? Well, he actually wants to really take you out on a date. I'm like, no, that was a mock date. But what it let me know is what he's accustomed to dealing with. So I was asking him questions. I said, so what do you think your best feature is? He said, my dick. I said, I think it's your eyelashes. Like, I didn't even go, oh my God, I can't believe you say that.
You didn't respond?
I didn't even acknowledge it.
Oh, that's so boss.
I didn't even acknowledge it.
Oh, that's so boss.
And I put my hand on his hand. And I said, I think it's your eyelashes because you have some really nice eyelashes. And so we get to talking. And I said, well, tell me what your day was like today. He said,
how young was this dude? Was he really, really young or was he?
No, he was in his 40s, late 30s, early 40s. But he was a hip hop rapper type dude. So this is what he's accustomed to. I said, so tell me what your day was like today. How was your day? He was like, the fact that you even asked me how my day was. He said, I don't get asked how my day was.
You'd be surprised.
And I'm like, okay. And so I'm sitting there and so I was getting ready to go home and I was like, my car was acting up. I was driving my old Lexus. I'm one of them people, until the wheels fall off, I'm going to drive this car.
Well, you're going to be driving the Lexus for a long time because them wheels ain't coming off no time soon.
That's why I had to go get me I went and got me a Tesla, honey. But what happened was, he was like, Miss April, if it was all over, Miss April, you need a ride home? Everything good? He said, because I got to go through your way to get to my house.
Why is he calling you Miss April?
That's the respect that these men have. So the way that these men are with other ladies, you got to remember, I'm talking about rappers who used to talking about bitches and hoes. That's used to calling women that.
But Miss April?
Miss April. That's what they call me.
That's a mommy son kind of.
Actually, I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it as respect because you got to give them some credit because they used to saying bitches and hoes. So I got to give them a little bit of credit. So it's either Miss April or Miss Mason. It's one of the two. Which is
to some degree is good because they do respect you. But if you really if you're interested, I don't see a Miss. Or you would have said, if you was interested, you would have said, call me April.
Right. But you got to remember, I've been doing this work with men for years. So I'm programmed to know the responses that I get. Because you got to remember, you're dealing with a lot of wounded men, men that did not get affection, men that did getting treated right, that their fathers wasn't around, their mothers, that, they became the man of the house too early for their mom, all of those things. So because I've been doing this work so long, KD, I understand that. None of that bothers me. I understand what it is. So I kind of just, go with it. And I kept it at Miss April. And, when they called me saying, he want to take you out on a date, you got to understand, I know my assignment with these men. And it's not a burden to me because I'm not doing anything. I'm being it. I didn't do anything.
Oh, that's good.
But ask him how his day went.
That's good.
Told him that his eyelashes were one of his physical qualities that I like. I didn't do anything. So when I wrote that post about heal the boy in him and the man will show up, they thought I was talking about taking abuse. I said a wise woman. I said, y'all skip right past the wise because a wise woman has boundaries. A wise woman can tell if a man is willing to do his work. And if he's not, she's out of there. She's not going to put herself in harm's way because she values herself first. So that let me know women did not know what encompasses being wise. Well, I've done that before for a man and he just did this. Well, you weren't a wise woman. If you allowed yourself to be abused, you were not a wise woman. Go back to what I said. Why we always got to do something? I said be, I didn't say do. And let me know they didn't know what being meant.
That's good, man. That's so good, April. That's so good. Just give me one tip that can help all of us be and move away from do.
being still. It goes back to the stillness of it all because we're so programmed to do. So if you're programmed to do in our day-to-day, what makes you think you're not going to do when you get into a relationship? I tell men all the time, if a woman that you're interested in come to you telling you what she can do, run like hell because she won't be anything for you. And most of the time when they come in telling you what they can do, you can hire somebody to replace what she does, but you can never hire somebody to be what they are to you. Two totally different things.
And sadly, a lot of men are in relationships, some marriages, and they stay because of loyalty, because you have done all of this stuff, and we got to reward you for being loyal by doing all of this stuff that, quite frankly, you can hire somebody to do.
Exactly.
And you can say whatever you want to say. You can't hire somebody to care. Oh, yes, you can.
Look, they got a service that you can hire somebody to come cuddle with you. They making money cuddling with people.
Oh, that's in
So they got it.
I don't know if it's over here, but it's definitely in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, they got it here. They got cuddle buddies, people that come and spoon with you. You can get that here in Atlanta. Yes.
Oh, is it like them dudes that come in giving you a massage?
No, it's like, say for instance, I wanted to be a cuddle buddy or whatever. I could start a business and I could come and spoon with you and give you that nurturing love and affection or feel like that you didn't get. Because touch heals people. People don't get that.
You must be cuddling with somebody unattractive.
No, this is a business. It's whoever hired you to do that. Google it.
It's called escorts.
No, escort is sleeping. Cuddling is something different.
I mean, you get to sleep eventually.
I'm not with you today.
I'm just saying. I mean, what?
But
so
no, this is a whole business model of cuddling. And this is why I'm so big on relationships. Because human touch heals.
I'm low-key hating that I didn't think about that first, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But go ahead.
But there are people, men and women, that are hired to just kind of cuddle, to kind of hold you, because people could be afraid of love. And so, but even though you could be afraid of love, it doesn't take away your need for human touch. So it's not anything sexual. It's, I need to cuddle.
And I get it.
You know, is what it is. It's that high-powered man that don't want to cheat on his wife, but he's not getting the nurturing or affection that he needs, and he hires somebody I don't want to sleep with you. Can you just hold me? I'm dealing with all of these things in the world. Can you just hold me?
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Wow.
It's a whole business out here, honey. The people making money holding folks.
Let me ask you this, April. What percentage of masculine energy should a woman have versus feminine energy that a man should have? I
do it like this. I operate 85 to 90% in the feminine. The 15 to 20% that I'm in the masculine, that's what I'm doing when I'm in business, because I own several companies. When I am in protection mode, like if my grandkids come over or something, and I'm feel like I got to protect the family or whatnot, and nobody's there, I carry my Glock everywhere I go. I'm with you, so I felt protected, so I didn't bring my Glock in. But when I'm in that
got my own
mode,
Glock.
Okay, well, see, we all good. And you got muscles, too, so you can fight the bad boys.
Couple, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
So
thank you for noticing.
Yeah, you got on this medium shirt, so of course I do.
First of all, I bought this shirt at the right size, and then I washed it, and it shrunk on down. But just thank you for noticing.
So I say women should be in the masculine energy, no more than 20%. And that's only when she's doing. That's why I say living a feminine lifestyle is something completely different than taking it on and off. So when I am putting it like this, there's something called what I call feminine surrender. And I went through that this entire summer. I took off the entire summer.
Feminine
surrender mode.
Surrender mode.
Yes. And what that is that stillness that I was telling you about. So I'm gonna show you how it just played out. I got to the place where I feel in my body when it's time for me to make a shift. I no longer need the rug pulled from up under me, be hit in the face with a hammer for me to pay attention. What normally happens is people don't pay attention to when it's time to shift. You hear something say, go look for a new job. Real simple like that. Go look for a new job. But they're not doing anything to you at the job. Everything is good at the job. You're happy there. But that boy says, go look for a new job. You don't want to do it. So all of a sudden the company shuts down. You don't get that last paycheck. But you were being warned. That's what being in the feminine surrender mode is like. It's like being in a place to where you are getting the downloads, but because you feel now, you got to open up to feel, you can make moves on the stillness of the direction versus get your ass up and go and everything then fell apart. You don't need that no more. So I was in that mode all summer. I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew my season for working with the women the way I was working with them was up, but I didn't know what was next. So I got in feminine surrender mode. I traveled. I did nothing. And what happens when I get into that mode is I get the downloads because now I'm open. I can feel. The blockage is no longer there. I start getting the downloads of what I should do next. This book that I have coming out in December, I got the idea for that in feminine surrender mode, but I didn't get that until the top of September. But guess what happens? Normally it would take people a minute to write a book. When you're in the feminine surrender mode and you can feel and you can hear and you're open, now that I know exactly what to do, that 15 to 20% of my masculine is going to make it happen. It's going to make it happen just like that. So I don't have to be trying to figure out what am I going to do next? What's my next move going to make? How am I going to do? I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is be. And it comes. But you can't just be still and not be open. People say, oh, I'm still, I'm by myself. No, you're just being still. You're not open. That's like when people say time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. Choice heals all wounds. Because you can go through life and still have bitterness and anger. Time passed. You ain't healed yet. That's a choice. So a lot of women will also tell me that, well, you know what? I'm doing me and I'm healing myself. No, you're passing time because you're not really doing the inner work. So it feels like just because you're opting out to deal with BS, that it makes you think you're doing the work because you're by yourself. But as soon as Kevin pulls up, you respond the exact same way that you did years ago. So how are you going to tell me I am this amazing woman and I've grown in the area of my career, I've grown in the area of my finances, but the indiscretion or the bad relationship that happened 5 years ago, you still carry that. It's 5 years later and you ain't grown over there. Tell me how you work. How does that work? It doesn't. You were just passing time. So you can, the things that don't require hard work, you can do that. You can go back to school. You can get another degree. You can buy another house. You can be a part of all of these organizations.
Ooh, that's good.
Don't require no hard work.
Wow, that's good.
But 5 years ago, you ain't been on no date. Men ain't shit. That's what you tell me. I'm tired of these F-boys. Why haven't you grown from that conversation 2 years later? But you've grown in these other areas. Make it make sense.
Because it requires you to be and not do. Let me ask you this. So let's pivot a little bit. A lot of guys stay in relationships, and I even say marriages, and I know that's controversial to say, that honestly, it no longer serves them. They really honestly are just serving the relationship. The relationship doesn't serve them. Now, we can argue about that back and forth, not you and I, but I mean, we can argue about that and why that is, which I'm going to ask you. But it does happen that you can grow out of a situation that, quite frankly, you know, everybody grows.
Yes.
And if you don't choose a direction to grow in, it's obvious that you're just going to grow in different directions. It just happens in life.
Yes.
It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make her bad. It just happens.
Yes.
Why is it that guys feel beholden to still stay in situations, the stress, weight gain, weight loss, high cortisol levels, man, just because we just feel like, I don't want to put words in your mouth. You talk to a lot of them as well. In your opinion, why does a guy stay in a place that, quite frankly, he's been outgrown?
He doesn't love himself enough. See, he's looking at everybody else, how they will be affected, not looking at how he's being affected.
Ooh, and you know the first thing that came to my mind when you said that?
What?
Love does. Wow. okay, this is the aha moment. Because sometimes love is not what you do. Love is actually what you be. And before I can love you properly,
exactly,
I got to love me properly. I don't think that we open ourselves up to receive like that. I know I don't. I open myself up to receive like that. Matter of fact, for like every Father's Day, what you want for Father's Day? What you want for your birthday? Nothing. A classic answer. And it's a lot of guys answer, nothing. I want nothing. For Father's Day, honestly, well, I stopped saying it because they got so offended. I want all y'all to leave me alone. Leave me alone. Give me a day. Can I have a day?
But that is your day to receive.
Yeah, but it's my day to receive. And what I want to receive is y'all to leave me alone.
But you really don't want that. It's just uncomfortable for you to receive.
I kind of do want it because I feel like y'all gonna give me what you want to give me.
But they asking you what you want, and you're not saying what you want. I'm
saying I want y'all to leave me alone.
But you're saying you want them to leave you alone because you don't think they'll give you what you want.
What I actually want, yeah.
Yeah, because
and what I actually want don't begin and end on Father's Day, though.
Then that's what you say, but you won't say even that.
Not just me, though.
Not just
Other
you.
Other people do it too, April.
I know they do, but I did. This is the conversation that I have with women as well too.
Yeah.
And so with that, I just feel like people don't love themselves enough to know when it's time to say when, because they're worried about other people's feelings, not looking at, I'm stressing myself the hell out. I'm working all of these hours trying to do this, trying to do that, and there's nobody pouring back into me. And I have this conversation with women as well too. So the question becomes, when are you going to start loving yourself enough to say when?
What does that look like then?
It means, let me assess, how am I feeling? Does this situation serve me? That's what the first question is. Does the situation serve where I'm going? How long has it been out of order? What have I done to get it back in order to actually communicate with my partner to see if we could actually get on the same page and we can actually grow together? Or is it time to just call it quits?
I think you would add, and you counsel a lot of women. Most of the time, it's never what y'all can adjust or what y'all can change. It's what y'all say, if you would, then I would.
Yeah.
Woman ain't got no problem being such and such to a man that's such and such such.
Yeah.
But you married him.
Yeah.
You saw that. And especially if, here's my thing. Everybody ain't telling the same lie on you. That's what my mother said. Everybody ain't telling the same lie on you. If we're around people, like a good community or whatever, and they say, you're a solid person. They say, I'm talking about people that know you, walk with you. They say, hey, I know you're willing to put in the work. One thing about you, you're gonna put the work in. You're gonna do whatever is necessary. Then the other person can't say, male or female. The other person can't say, well, yeah, he won't put the work in. What do all of these people see that you don't see? My
best friend is a guy. He's been married 25 years, and he actually helped me in a lot of what I know, especially after my divorce. I mean, he's the one that taught me how to walk on the side, of a man by the door to make sure he opens the door X amount of pay. Like, he schooled me real good, right? One of the things he shared with me is, if a person tells you that they'll do anything for you, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing that's causing them not to do it? Because if someone says, I will do anything for you, and suddenly they don't do it, what shifted? What caused the discrepancy here? That's the conversation that has to be had.
It's a very good question. Oftentimes, I think I see it male and female. Oftentimes, it's because they are willing. They just want to feel safe to do it.
But what if they were doing it before and all of a sudden it just stopped? What happened?
I mean, it's the same answer. They don't feel safe to do it anymore.
Because something happened that caused a rift somewhere. And that's the conversation that has to be had. What did I do to make you not respect me anymore? What did I say to make you not want to, be with me anymore? You have to ask those questions.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's where it stemmed from. Because nobody just wake up one day and be like, ugh, it's a buildup of stuff. And so that's the question that has to be asked. What did I do to cause you not to blah, 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 blah? This is how I feel.
Well, sometimes, a couple of things. And again, in my mind, I can't think of a male. I can't think of a female. I really see it as a neutral conversation.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of things come to mind. Number one, well, women will say, well, you did it, but you didn't do it long enough. You weren't consistently doing it. Okay, that's one.
Okay.
And then another one is sometimes they make your identity tied to the indiscretion.
I got you. Yeah.
You are the
That.
person that messed up.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how much you try to change, no matter how much you say that ain't me, whatever, time passes. Any small little thing that triggers them, they say, see, that right there. That's why.
I do believe as women, we have to leave room for y'all to fix it.
Can you understand? Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. But can you understand that? And oh my God, I'm speaking of so many guys. Like these faces are popping in my head. Can you understand that when you leave us, when women leave guys at the mess up, if you leave us there, if your action towards us is based on what we did and who we were in a season in our lives, and it traumatized you so much that you couldn't get past it, and understandably so, do you understand the only option you leave us was two. One, to stay with you and be okay with not getting what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And always chasing this carrot of, if you would, then I would.
Mm-hmm.
Or we crack your heart because we know you love us. We crack your heart and we leave you.
Mm-hmm.
Because no guy is going to perpetually stay in the place of I ain't it or I am not enough.
Yes. And the thing is, when I was coaching, I had 40% of my coaching clients were married people. And, there were some indiscretions that happened. And I would always ask the woman, is this the man that you want to be with? I said, because although all of this is on the table, right? And I'm not excusing him at all. That was some foolishness over there because he didn't communicate his needs to you. But I'm asking you.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, but in this situation,
I'm gonna let you tell your story.
But majority of the situations,
not in your story.
They don't, in my coaching practice, they didn't communicate the needs because she should know. She's been with me. Or do it properly.
Yeah.
And once a woman tells me, I want to stay, I love him, I have to tell her, all of this back here, you got to give him room to fix it. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but you got to give him room to fix it because this is a choice that you're making to stay. But you can't choose to stay and then browbeat somebody all day, every day, and tie them to that. Now, if you feel like you're going to have to do that, as a song my daughter taught me, she said, they say, Mom, then leave. Then leave. That's the only other option because you're going to make yourself miserable.
You just made yourself the grandma and not even really.
Don't do me.
That's what my daughter said. My daughter tell me, what's what them young folks say?
Yeah. So it's only one or two choices. I mean, it's only two choices. You're going to have to give the room for the healing to happen between you two. Or you have to say, you know what? This is too much for me. Yes. Although I love him with everything in me, it's too much for me. And that's okay too.
That's fair, yes. That's fair.
It's okay too. But what happens is if I can't have you, I want nobody to have you.
That's a mess.
And it becomes ego versus loving self. I love myself enough to walk away from somebody that I love that I felt like did not value me based upon the choices that he made or that she made. So I'm going to love myself enough, even though I love everything about this person and the experiences that we had and time that we shared. I can't get over this, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
I can't get over the fact that she disrespects me and put her family before me. I can't get over the fact that she cheated. I can't get over the fact that he cheated or whatever the thing is. And we have to be honest with ourselves and know what our core, needs are. Know thyself is very important. Knowing what you can and cannot deal with. Women's expectations are ridiculous. And there's no pleasing. Now, this is not all. So I'm going on years of data that I've collected. And at the end of the day, it can be challenging working with women with not the right expectation. Everybody wants to come to me because they want this high 6, 7, 8-figure dude, right?
Why do they want him?
Because of the lifestyle, because what they're looking at is he matched my fly, meaning he has the money that I have, he have the things that I have, or he can, he's that guy, right?
Let me pause you. We're gonna come back to that. You got to have a certain kind of gravitas to deal with a high earning man, because most of the time these high earning men, they don't have a lot of high earning time.
Yes.
They don't.
Yes.
They're busy. They're working. It's tough. And so, and if you don't have nothing significant going on for yourself, that will be the worst decision that you have made in your chocolate life.
Thank you. So here's the deal.